Yeah. So based on our research findings, what would you say are your best practice and step for brands to strategically consider when implementing in-store music?
Oh, the best one. I would say that first, based on our findings and on also on previous findings, is that music matters a lot for
Mm.
individuals. So one of my favorite studies of all time is a psychology study by Renfro and Gosling. I think it was from 2006, where they had people chatting with each other without knowing who they chatted with, and then they just recorded their conversations, and they wanted to see what they talked about. And what they talked about most during they had 6 weeks experience. The first 5 weeks, they talked most about music. So that shows how important music is for individuals. We identify ourselves with the music that we are listening to, and we also actually kind of identify other individuals that we meet with the music that they are listening to. And if music is so important for individuals, it is also so important for store owners or restaurant owners. It can actually get you to connect with your customer if you do it properly. If you do it right, it can have a huge effect on your business.
Mm.
So music often is the first thing they hear when you're entering a store or a restaurant. And I think from our research, I think we found a lot of different stuff, but I think one of the key findings that I want to explore more in future studies is this distraction hypothesis that maybe you should play more music that is less well known, and try to avoid playing too familiar music all the time. I think that we have something there, and I think we need more study about on the effect of playing less familiar music. And so I would say that don't play, don't just turn on the radio. Try to select songs that fits with your brand and your store environment. Um, Also vary the music. I mean, that's something that people do. I mean, they have some CD on or whatever, or some playlist with like 50 songs or something. That's too. I mean, you need to have 300 songs. You need to have a variation during the days, both for your employees and your customers. And I would also argue that our research seem to highlight it's important that it fits with your brand, it fits with your store, but also that you're not playing too much of this popular music,
Mm.
because even if that fits with your brand, people will get distracted when they hear it. So and here you can think about Christmas music, for instance. This is why people get so annoyed when they're out Christmas shopping and they are listening to Jingle Bells or Mariah Carey or something. Last Christmas with Wham for, I mean,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
another time. It's like it's important here to have variation, and it's really really important to think about music more carefully.
Yeah. And then also like in terms of like what you and I are great at doing is bridging the academic world with the business world. Our
Yeah, yeah.
research though takes a long time. So how can then brands, how can you do this more commercialized? How can brands measure it themselves? And how important is it, the measurement aspect of once you've chosen an in-store music soundtrack to follow it up?
Yeah, it's very important. I mean, nowadays, like I told you, with all the streaming and digitalization, and a lot of different also uh, businesses that are actually creating playlists for stores, um, you can actually do a lot of experimenting. I
Mm.
mean, especially if you are a chain and you have multiple locations, because then you can yourself implement this randomization. For instance, do you want to try 3 playlists? Well, try them at your chains, but do it, spread them out randomly
Mm.
during a year. Collect the data and analyze the data. Let someone who knows statistics analyze the data and see, well, do you have an effect here and why? And combine that also with interviews with the staff and with the customers to try to figure out what is going on here. It's actually not more complicated than that, but I mean, you probably need to invest in that. You have to you have to have someone that is creating your playlists, that is a professional and expert. And you also need someone that is good in doing statistics and doing research design, so that you can be sure that you have actually captured the effect of your music. But I mean, if you get it right, the rewards are there. I mean, for our fast food chain company, I mean, having a 9% increase in sales is a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So I mean, it can matter a lot. It doesn't have to. I mean, you probably have different effects in different kind of stores and restaurants, of course, but it can